From the time the sun rises in one part of the world until it rises again on the other side, there are people of action around the world, doing good, changing lives, giving hope. The sun never sets in Rotary. Service is bigger than ourselves. The sun never sets in Rotary. Thanks to you, we are Rotary, we are one. All these people who give a Rotarians, who engage with the youth, work with them. They serve those most in need, heal the sick, promote peace and polio and save lives. The sun never sets in Rotary. Service is bigger than ourselves. The sun never sets in Rotary. Thanks to you, we are Rotary, we are one. Thanks to you, we are Rotary, we are one.
Welcome to Rotarians, Rotaractors, and friends of Rotary from all over the world. My name is Chantelle Bennett, and I am the DRI elect for District 9400, and I will be the Master of Ceremonies for the next hour. A special welcome to the District Governor of 9400, Dr. Kuki Makanyane Kwashi, and DRI Nkosinati Mkonto. We now cross over to the Rotary International President, Jannifer Jones, for a very special message.
Greetings, my friends. It is my great honor to send you goodwill and good wishes from Rotary leadership and all across the family of Rotary. Rotary's core values, our traditions, our heritage, these are powerful things that we hold true and yet build upon as we imagine how we can be so much more. When an organization like ours dreams big things like ending polio and creating peace, it becomes our responsibility to make these dreams a reality. We imagine a world that deserves our best, where we get up each day knowing that we can make a difference. By telling our story and aspiring to do more each day, we imagine Rotary. Thank you for playing an important role in this effort. Together, there's no limit to what we can achieve.
We would now like to give you a glimpse into our beautiful District 9400. Enjoy. Now, I know I'm biased, but our district is so incredible. From beautiful beaches to the savannah to waterfalls and to mountain ranges, we have it all. We are known for our warmth, color, lands, diversity, and our incredible people who make up District 9400. You truly have to experience it for yourself. We now call on our esteemed District Governor, Kuki Makanyane Kwashe, for a special address. Over to you.
My fellow Rotarians, in the spirit of Rotary, I extend a warm welcome to you all, my dear young Rotarians, and I'm grateful for the invitation. I've always loved being in the midst of the youth, as it brings out the youngster that's now hiding in me. The sun never sets. In history, the saying, "the sun never sets," was once very popular to describe the vast empires of the day, in particular the British Empire. Now, geographically, it meant that the British Empire was once so expansive, spreading across different continents and time zones, that there was always some part of it that was sunny. The phrase "the sun never sets" is very apt for our organization, Rotary International, our global organization. As we connect and engage with each other on the screen, we do so from different continents and time zones because of Rotary's expansiveness. What this therefore means is that as people of action, we continuously serve the less fortunate. So to you, I say, thank you for choosing to belong to this organization where the sun never sets. Thank you for your enthusiasm to serve, as you're doing in places like in Mozambique with the Garden of Hope, Central Sandton with No Excuses, gender-based violence movement, and in the district again, our district 9400, the Rotary community cause are very, very active. And then Waterkloof is also very, very active with its youth movement. Thank you for assuring us through your actions that you will take up this baton and continue with service above self for another 117 years. I wish you all the best and hope you will continue to connect with one another, to engage with each other, and to serve together in order to grow in.
Thank you so much, DJ Cookie. DJ Cookie is someone who is such an inspirational person. But more than that, she's down to earth, she's approachable, and she's just an incredible person. And we're so grateful as District 9400 to have had her leadership and to have her as our mentor throughout the year. We now call on dear Ann Kosinati Mkonto to say a few words of welcome.
Fellow Rotarians, Rotaractors and friends, I bring you my greetings as we celebrate Rotary's 118th birthday around the world. The Rotaract District 9400 joins in wishing you a happy birthday. My name is Ngosnati Mkondo, the District Rotaract Representative for 2022 to 2023, which incorporates clubs in Botswana, Eswatini, Mozambique and South Africa. What makes my district so special is that we have so much diversity. Our district captures the spirit of Ubuntu, which is an African word that expresses compassion, dignity, harmony and humanity in the interest of building and maintaining a community with justice and mutual caring. Rotaractors across the districts has carried out innovative projects aimed at professional development, personal development, caring for the environment, and community service. The COVID-19 pandemic brought so many trials, but we managed to hang together in fellowship and continue to serve in innovative ways thanks to the commitment of Rotaractors and Rotarians. We aimed to equip and empower the Rotaractors in our district with leadership skills and held several leadership trainings events which enable our Rotaractors to be able to serve in different clubs positions. The Rotary clubs in our district have implemented several community service projects such as humanitarian projects where we serve to help those less fortunate, as well as environmental projects which aim to save the planet by reducing pollution. We thrive in fellowship and team building as we believe in Rotary's pillar of networking and building strong, long-lasting relationships. As we have been elevated into Rotary, may I urge and encourage each and every Rotary to fully utilize all the resources and opportunities available in your disposal to grow both professionally and personally. May I also encourage each and every Rotaractor and Rotarians to enroll into the courses that are available in the Learning Center. There are tons of courses that are available there that can help you have better knowledge about Rotary, as well as help you in your profession. As I end, let us all take this time to celebrate and rejoice to the wonderful work that we are doing as a Rotary family. I thank you.
Thank you so much, dear Nkosinati, for sharing what is happening in Rotaract in District 9400. The DR mentioned something the other day. He said his goal for the year was to listen to his fellow Rotaractors, to his mentors, to his Rotarians, to anything or anyone around him, and to really absorb everything. And I think that is something so admirable about him. So here we go. We would like to call on President Brian Holmes, who has provided us with a video on their project of vegetable gardens at an orphanage in Maputo.
Good evening, fellow Rotarians. My name is Brian Holmes, President of Rotary Club of Maputo, District 9400 in Mozambique. My pleasure to present to you the Project Hope that is been adopted by the Rotary Club of Maputo in support of the Girls' Orphanage in Maputo, Madre Maria Clara Home. Project Hope's focus is on food production, revenue generation, girls' empowerment, and rural community development, all in a sustainable manner. Madre Maria Clara Home, MMCH, also known as the Children's Home, is an orphanage run by Catholic sisters. It is located at Missão de São José de Langeni in Maputo, Mozambique. The MMCH goal is to take care of abandoned children, only girls, orphaned or at risk, heal their physical and psychological wounds, feed them and guarantee them medical care, as well as educate and accompany them until they reach training that guarantees them professional independence. Home has about 100 girls on a full-time basis, aged between 3 and 18 years old, in some cases up to 20 years old. The MMCH's needs include ensuring the girls have food and clothing, school supplies, hygiene material, and extracurricular activities suitable for each age group, as well as vocational training at all levels. This diagram depicts the support of MMCH by Rotary Club of Maputo. It shows the evolution of the approach adopted by Rotary Club of Maputo from the years 2020 into 2023 and into the coming year 2024. Support of the Rotary Club of Maputo to the MMCH over the years has been a multifaceted one, including the provision of food items, hygiene and cleaning materials, school supplies, garments, toys, IT resources, bicycles, etc. We also provided a library with library books and bookshelves. We socialized with the kids during festive activities, as well as provided jobs for the kids that completed their higher education. As part of the Get a Bike project, the Rotary Club of Maputo had the privilege of hosting RI past President Barry Rasson with the girls at the orphanage. Despite the help of Rotary Club of Maputo and volunteers, the MMCH continues to be dependent on the help of institutions and the goodwill of people, which is not a sustainable solution for them. Prior projects included the production of vegetables based on hydroponics, production of eggs, and breeding of chickens. These projects were selected because of the availability of the land and infrastructure at the MMCH. Unfortunately, at the end of the day, these projects did not produce the desired effect in terms of sustainability and revenue generation. The root cause of the project failures in the past has been identified as a lack of capacity building to the beneficiaries and the lack of involvement in the execution and implementation processes. This has resulted in us changing our strategy from one of giving the fish to teaching the kids how to fish for themselves. The result has been the creation of Project Hope, where we're looking at providing sustainable solutions to solving MMCH's needs. The core of Project Hope is the empowerment of the girls in the orphanage, resulting in sustainable economic prosperity for the girls and their families. We are currently in the first phase of the project, where the Rotary Club of Maputo has contributed financially for the acquisition of seeds and other agricultural inputs, and we have mobilized a partner for the support of the implementation phase in accordance with the new model that we have adopted. In this slide, you will see the garden that has been developed in the first phase, as well as some of the extracurricular activities that have been engaged in, including dancing, sports, handicraft, etc. While the garden flourishes, we have taken a detailed inventory of the available human and material resources for implementing Project Hope. We have done this by engaging with the key stakeholders, including MMCH and other partners. This interactive approach is aimed at building ownership and ensuring that issues raised are considered from multiple perspectives and decisions are reached collectively as to how to solve MMCH's problems within the local context. Detailed project design has been ongoing with our partner Rotary Club of Cagliari in Italy, District 2080. This slide shows the three components that Project Hope aims to focus on: food production and revenue generation, girls empowerment, rural community development. Under the food production, revenue generation and skills development, we will be introducing cutting and sewing, Center for Information Technologies, production of broiler chickens, cooking skills, egg and vegetable production. This slide shows the various disciplines that will be introduced under the capacity building sector. The next step in the project includes the application for a global grant jointly with Rotary Club of Cagliari, District 2080. Rotary Club of Maputo has identified a local partner that will work with us in the implementation phase of this project. During our district governor's visit to Maputo, we had the great pleasure of introducing our district governor to our local partners, the Movimento pela Cidadania, citizenship movement. This diagram depicts the relationship between the Rotary Club of Maputo, the Movimento pela Cidadania, and the MMCH. In this design phase, we have understood that it is clear that the rural community development component will be a much longer-term project goal. Our partners in the global grant, the Rotary Club of Cagliari, District 2080, will focus on the capacity building training and the provision of specific needs for the project implementation, including smart agriculture knowledge transfer. We are also looking at the possibility of exchange programs between Mozambique and Italy. This diagram outlines the structure that we propose to have for the project. There will be a project steering committee, a project management team, a project operational management team, which is the field team, a local project steering committee, a food production and revenue generation project manager, and a girls empowerment project manager, as well as a rural community development project manager at a later stage. The project steering committee comprises of Rotary Club of Cagliari, Rotary Club of Maputo, Madre Maria Clara House, Movement for Citizenship, representatives of the leaders of the beneficiary rural communities. Project management will be the responsibility of the Rotary Club of Maputo that will focus on the supervision and monitoring and accountability of the project. The project operational field management team will comprise of the Movement for Citizenship, and they will be responsible for the implementation of the project. The local project steering committee comprises of the Movement for Citizenship and the Madre Maria Clara House. Ladies and gentlemen, I thank you for listening to our presentation.
We now welcome District Governor nominee George Seonsha, who has provided us with a video on Rotary Community Corps and how Rotary clubs can use this to expand their reach and impact in communities. Enjoy.
The Rotary image and what Rotary is about. To describe RCCs, they involve a group of non-Rotarians who share our commitment to changing the world through service projects in their communities and support local Rotary projects. DJ and George Seonsha, thank you for your time and allowing us the opportunity to understand the work that you do on mobilizing RCCs. What inspired you to start RCCs? Could you perhaps briefly speak to us about what they are in a sense of how is an RCC different from a Rotary club? Why not convert RCC members into Rotarians from the onset?
Thank you very much, Tembi. It's really an honor and privilege for me to be talking to you about the RCC. First of all, Rotary Community Corps is a team of non-Rotarians who share the same vision and partner with Rotary clubs to serve their communities. They are non-paying members, but the Rotary clubs are the ones that are sponsoring those clubs or mentoring those clubs to really serve their communities in various areas.
Why would we not convert RCC members into Rotarians from the onset? Is it a funding issue?
You know, Tembi, let me start by answering this way. A school without the ECD or the foundation phase education will never function properly. So if from the onset you are going to really let those members of the RCC join Rotary from the onset, they will not be ready. It's like taking a child who has never been on the foundation phase and put that child into matric and expect them to work. So this is a process. While these people are in the Rotary Community Corps, they start to understand what is Rotary all about. And remember, many people actually judge Rotary as a charity organization. And if you are not going to be dealing with those blind spots properly, you will never retain those members if they come in your club. Because the expectation is, what is in there for me? Because you would have taken the shortcut to induct them as full Rotary members.
Africa Centennial. you took on the challenge to set up 100 RCCs for the Rotary year 2021-2022. Did you achieve this target, and what are the challenges that you faced?
Tembi, you know, my honest truth, even if I did not get the number 100, but the game is on. Only now I realize how much knowledge the club has got about the Rotary Community Corps. And the challenges are, if you look at what Rotary says about Rotary Community Corps and how the clubs should onboard Rotary Community Corps, it speaks about the Rotary Community Corps must be sponsored by a club. And that is scaring the clubs, away, thinking that the Rotary Community Corps is actually a liability. And it is not like that. The only interaction that the Rotary has got with the Rotary Community Corps, it will be when they mentor them, but they share the privileges of the projects, and also to guide these RCC members as to how to deal with a project in their various areas. So I haven't achieved it, as I said, but I can tell you that now, through the Rotary Community Corps, we managed to reach over 135 community members through the campaign of polio and the measles awareness. So though I don't have the number in Rotary Community Corps, but the power of Rotary Community Corps is showing itself, where now we can really boast and say the impact that the Rotary Community Corps has done on the polio awareness campaign and fundraising is huge.
There comes a time when we heed a certain call, when the world must come together as one. There are people dying. Oh, when it's time to lend a hand to life, the greatest gift of all. We can't go on pretending day by day that someone somewhere will soon make a change. We all a part of God's great big family, and the truth, love is all we need. We are the world, we are the children, we are the ones who make it brighter day, so let's start giving.
Today we are at Ontlametse Palace Primary School. It's our ongoing campaign about creating an awareness for polio at various schools, and also teach the learners our four-way test, which is the core value of Rotary, driving everyone. So we were amazed by the preparations and everything that the school has done.
We understand that in rising up to the challenge, you collaborated with other clubs. You proposed that we extend the slogan of each one bring one, with the RCC slogan of each Rotary club forms the RCC, each member forms the RCC in the community or the area of employment. Are there notable achievements that you're able to pinpoint as evidencing the fruits of collaboration?
Yes, we are celebrating that achievement presently. We have got about 3 RCCs that has been formed by members of former Rotary Community Corps. And one of them is the president of our club, President Mmateng Muda. And we've got also one of our Rotarian in Johannesburg who formed a Rotary Community Corps called the Rotary Community National Football Association. So we are enjoying those benefits. When it comes to the clubs, they still need to be educated and actually remove this monster of them thinking that a Rotary Community Corp is a liability. They don't see any beneficiation in that, but there's a lot of benefits that clubs can draw from the Rotary Community Corp. Like now, we are busy with the Rotary Family Health Days. And the Rotary Family Health Days, the focus is in those areas where Rotary does not exist and where the needs are. Now, if you had a Rotary Community Corp, they will do the spade work and the groundwork and do the running around, you'll just support. That's why we are having 6 sites as a result of the Rotary Community Corp for Rotary Family Health Day. So there are benefits there.
I'm in grade 5. I learn at Bluebird College. So I would like to say something for Rotary. I would like to say that thank you for sharing this message with us. We are now aware of polio virus. We'll be careful not to, we'll inject to prevent it. We'll inject to prevent polio awareness. So we would like to say thank you for sharing this message with us. May God keep on blessing you. Oh.
Thank you very much, DG and Seonsha. Thank you for your time and for sharing the work that you do. And so now we hope that everybody has a better understanding on this work that DG and Seonsha does with the Rotary District D9400 on Rotary Community Corps.
Let's take a look at the interview Rotaractor Emmanuel Bionde had with Charles Mphephu from No Excuses and Mark McClue from the Rotary Club of Sandton Central on their project to deal with gender-based violence and working with youth in Alexandra.
The No Excuse organization is about, sir.
Okay, thank you. My name is Charles Mphephu, and then I'm staying here in Alexandra, and then I'm a chairperson of the RCC, Rotary Community Co-op of Alex. We're partnering with the #NoExcuse in terms of the program that we're running here in Alexandra. The program that we're doing here is focusing on addressing the root cause of gender-based violence. In Alex, as you know, that in South Africa is the second pandemic after the COVID.
I grew up from a very disadvantaged family, where it was a big family with everyone staying there, my brothers, my sisters, and their wife on the same place. So I grew up watching, abuse for women and children happening in front of us. The abuse that I observed is that there were a lot of violence in terms of my brother fighting his wife, and we were watching, because when they fight to the point that they fight outside. When everyone watching, the children, my parents watching, everyone watching, it was a very terrible violence that we grew up watching on a daily basis. So that's why it affected me a lot, because growing in a violent family, watching how relationship done, it's like they normalize violence. I think it was the ill society, because it was a very real abuse to the point where if it's my brother who is fighting, I don't ever say as a young person. I can't even involve on that issues, but we just watch. There's no day when there's no fight. The reason to start the NPO, I was looking at the experience that I go through, and then the experience that children are go through, the experience that women are go through, the experience that also men are go through. Then I decided to stand up and try to help other people. So that's the reason I started the NPO. There's a need for men to come together and to talk about what are they going through their mind. Because to become violent, but you can become violent, but if you don't have somebody to talk to, you decided to commit suicide, because majority of people who are committing suicide are men. Majority of people who are on the street are men. Majority of people who are in jail are men. And I see that there's a problem with men that need to be taken advantage. There's no space where men who are hurt can go to. Maybe like abuse center for men and boys. There's not that space. We're growing up knowing that men don't cry, you know, but we are not told that we need to come together and share. Men are meet at the soccer stadium, but they don't talk. They can share the beer, bottle of beer, they can group the whole night, but they can't talk what they're going through. That's why I decided to open a space for men to come together and share.
The No Excuse organization focuses on programs for men and boys holistically. One thing I've discovered is even though we have emergency shelters for women, the people serving as counselors have no official training. They perform these roles in order to get women to integrate with their families. So I wonder if you're aware of programs to install that training for how to deal with women who have been victimized by gender-based violence.
Yes, I noticed that problem, and then on our side we created what we called a empowerment women cycle, where women can come together and share as we share as men. They share about things that they go through, like gender-based violence. How did they exit from that abusive relationship, so that when they share with other women, they're able to open up and said, if you manage to go out of this abusive relationship, I will do that. So we created that space after we identified that problem.
On Women's Month, we decided to make a men's walk where we target 1,000 men to walk. Everyone was wearing #No Excuse for Abuse for Women and Children. We wanted to prove that men can stand up if they get a space to talk, a space to share. Because on that day, majority of men, more than 1,000 men, they take up the street. They started a 10-kilometer walk from Helen Joseph Hostel until 3 Square.
So I'm particularly intrigued by your discussions of engaging men and boys in these efforts. One term I'd like to throw around is the idea of changing norms. I'm curious to know as to how this can be achieved in a way that doesn't come across as threatening or a cultural imposition, and if you have any examples of ways that you've tackled these issues in the past, sir.
Yeah, thank you very much for that question, because what we do now is currently addressing those social norms. Because remember, some of the social norms is not because of culture, but some of the social norms is because we grow up watching that patriarchy happening. We're watching our father beating our mother, and we take it as a norm. So we're changing that social norm, social behavior by addressing issues of culture, by sitting down and discussing on the topics of culture versus social norms. So when we discuss that issues, it intrigues us that some of the behavior that will happen on our parents previously was not on. So we need to change that to become a positive role model. Because remember, when we grow up, we didn't have even role model even currently. So This is the missing part. And the other missing part is that is a mentorship part, because currently when we grow, people are looted by social media, the social issues, the WhatsApp, and then they don't have a mentor that they can go to talk to. So we started to creating that space to create a mentor.
I agree. Young men need mentors, people that will show them how to also cross the bridge.
Chelsea encouraged me, I mentor her, I'm pusetsa ko community, gore community to mon trusta, bankise di rep, probably session tse ke di kena le bona due to men's forum. But since kopana le Charles and ruta hore motho wa mosadi o need respect. Motho wa mosadi go nna le motho wa mosadi ka muntu. First thing to you ke communication. Go na le problem le motho wa mosadi, you sit down la bua ge e sa solve, you go out mo ba le gore ba na le experience ya go feta ya gago ba o thusa ka yona. For no motho wa mosadi for night ke mona as a queen, because nako ile next someone as a queen. No ke mona as a queen, as a mother for cause motho wa mosadi carried me for 9 months.
To know as to how we can revivify the moral standards, for example, addressing such issues at police training sessions, because most of these victims would have good cases, but then those cases wouldn't go anywhere. So I'd like to know as to how you tackle that issue, sir.
Yeah, thank you. In terms of that issues is happening, as you know, that corruption is another pandemic, especially in South Africa. So what we do, we work with different sectors, even the police. The training that we're talking about, we take it to the police, we take it to the college, we train those people so that they can understand. Remember, those problems of corruption and all that is because people, they don't have civic education. On the other part, we conduct what we call civic education training, where we teach people about their rights, so that they can underline if somebody is violating their rights. We conduct that separately.
I-GBV iyona nto esihlukumeza kakhulu eSouth Africa, nokhulunywa ngayo every day kuma-social network everywhere. So sasa sikubona ukuthi no ngcono sibe nani neforum esizoyakha ezosiza ingane zabafana isikhathi esiningi zifuna lento engayibiza phecelezi father figure, because if ever there is no father figure kulo mntwana ayikho into akazoyenza right, ngoba uzokwazi ukuthi noma embona umuntu oyindoda noma ubaba angeke amthathe notice because akamazi ekhuleni kwakhe. I-guidance as a men's forum to the young ones eyokuthi kufanele nikhule nibe ngangathi nikwazi okuhle ukuhlukanisa okubi nokuhle.
Using pageants to mold the young boys and girls of South Africa into peace activators. Who would have thought? President Muda from the Rotary Club of Waterkloof shares this amazing initiative with us. Enjoy.
We speak with Dr. Mmateng Muda Tumane, the president of the Rotary Club of Waterkloof in District 9400, on their various projects to empower girls. Dr. Muda, thank you very much for allowing us your time. You are adamant about maximizing diversity, equity, inclusion. This has also seemingly filtered into your work on empowering girls by ensuring that the boy child is not left behind. Have you been able to successfully balance this concept?
Thank you, Tembi. Yes, I can safely say I have been successful in balancing this concept, because what I can share is that when we do our Empowering Girls projects, we don't exclude boys. So everything that we do, even if the focus would be on girls, we bring boys side by side so that they could have the same understanding, because there's a bigger role that boys are playing. For example, if we have to look at the issues of gender-based violence, males are involved. And from a very young age, boys are not being mentored, boys are not being coached, boys are not being told or taught how to carry themselves and how to treat girls. And that's where we see our success, because the topics that we handle in our empowering girls, we make sure that boys also have a say, boys also have a voice, and we want to hear their opinion, but also we want to empower and educate them as a society, because we want to raise better men, better future husbands, and better male counterparts to our girls. So yeah, the success rate is very high, I may say.
I am sure that he can go into any country and do wonders. Boy, well done. Congratulations.
Thank you for that. And now you're also leading Dignity Pink Bow to empower girls and engage them in menstrual hygiene. You refer to the project as an intervention initiative. Are you able to share with us what you mean by that?
Okay. This is a very exciting project. We launched this project for a little girl who was 7 at the time. She won a Little Model F pageant, a children's pageant in Tanzania. And when she was still a second princess and a first princess, we launched this because we partnered her with children on the farms. But the whole idea behind this was to, give girls that platform. The slogan of that Dignity Pink Bow is, it says, igniting girl power. So we wanted girls to realize the power that they have within themselves, even from a very young age. So this initiative basically, and also it's not leaving boys behind, because with these initiatives, we are creating ambassadors in the communities, in the schools, and the little girl goes around in schools and give a talk on why she believes she's a powerful girl, and also using her pageant as a platform to serve humanity. But Dignity Pink Bow mostly is to empower girls and boys on issues of hygiene, menstrual hygiene, and for boys to understand what it means for a girl to go through their menstrual cycle. It's a natural process. It's not a curse. So
before we address the work that you do in terms of pageantry, the pageantry work, what inspired you to launch the Dignity Pink Bow in the Kurundal Marikana farms? What inspired you to launch in this area? Have you launched in other areas as well? Are you able to share notable achievements maybe as well?
Okay. I've worked with children for many years, and I've got passion for children. But in 2019, I found myself being assigned a project in the mining area of Kurundal Marikana. So the first thing that I saw when I looked for accommodation, I found accommodation on a small farm. And the first thing that I saw was children. And when I looked at those children, I could see that there was no hope. You could see the children are going on ECD. The children are they're just living a life on a daily basis, and school is not an important issue. Hygiene is not an important issue. There are no proper toilets in the small farming community where they stay. And that's what touched my heart when we launched the project for the little girl, for her pageantry, but also for myself as the work that I do in the community as a humanitarian, as a Rotarian. I saw it fit that this is a community that is in need. These are the girls that normally would not have any mentor. These are the girls that would normally not have any role model, if I have to call it that. And I saw it fit that it shouldn't actually be myself. I should actually bring peers on board so that these little girls can see that it's not about their circumstances. It's not about where they come from, but it's about what they have and what they are capable of. Given the opportunities and given the platforms, they could also do well.
And Dr. Muda, on your work, grooming children for international pageantry, is this just for girls, or how do pageants actually empower girls? Have we celebrated any wins to date? And not only in the sense of winning the pageant itself, but are you able to share examples of how winning a pageant has empowered the girls that are involved in your project?
this because I saw how these pageants are actually shaping children. And I always say to parents, this is not about beauty. Beauty is inside. We're not looking at the external beauty. You know, if it's there, it's a bonus, but every child is beautiful. We're teaching children that you are beautiful as you are. So we're not focusing on external looks or features of your face or your slender body. We want you to come as you are, a beautiful African child with your skin tone, with your short hair, with your fat or bubbly, you know, body, chubby body. All we want is to groom you so that you are a self-confident person, so you are an independent child. And how I see, you know, the way that the pageants has shaped the children. Children join the pageants, they don't believe in themselves. They have a mentality that the pageant is for beautiful, slender, or yellow bone. Like in South Africa, there's something that they term a yellow bone person, someone who's light skinned is deemed to be the most beautiful person. So they come into the pageant, they don't believe in themselves, they look at their body shape and they feel they are fat. But once we prepare their minds to say, this is not the platform for outside beauty, we're building your beauty from inside. You need to know that you are beautiful in whichever way that you look. And we have brought boys also on these pageants. I mean, you hear things like, no, that's a girl stuff. No, I can't do that stuff. But once we mentor them and once we show them the bigger picture that, look, we are giving you a platform to be yourself. We're giving you a platform to be able to stand on world stages and express yourself. We are giving you a platform to be able to stand for what you believe in. I mean, the little girl, who's the first child that I groomed in this pageantry, she won, she came back, she was able to stand in big stages at the age of 7. She was able to address schools in assembly, her peers, and tell them that this is who I am, this is what I want. It's got nothing to do with beauty. And we've seen that through those pageants, children's mindsets have been transformed, and more children are starting to believe that it is all possible. It starts with you, what you believe, with who you are. If you believe in yourself and you believe that you are meant for greater things, it doesn't matter how you look on the outside. It is what you carry inside.
The Rotary four-way test.
The Rotary four-way test.
Of the things we think.
Of the things we think.
Say or do.
Say or do.
Is it the truth?
Is it the truth?
Is it fair to all concerned?
Is it fair to all concerned?
Will it build goodwill and better friendship?
Will it bring goodwill and better friendship?
Will it be beneficial to all concerned?
Will it be beneficial to all concerned?
Thank you.
Thank you.
But another interesting project is the work that you do in environmental issues and environmental projects. Firstly, there have been various global initiatives to empower women to empower the earth and empowering women on the front line of climate change. May you please share your work on empowering girls through your environmental project, and are there challenges of empowering girls in this area?
There are challenges. I'm going to talk about my community because, you know, if you are not educated or you are not well learned in a specific area, you know, community has groomed children in a certain way of thinking. So a lot of things, these things are new concepts to our kids, and we have a lot of work to do in educating kids to look after the earth, to look after the environment. You know, we can see the impact of climate change in our communities. We can see now we're having floods, something that never happened in South Africa in many years. We can see there's a lot of pollution. Plastic is an issue. There's dead everywhere. And we are trying to teach children in these projects that, look, we need to look after our environment.
Mayor, Mr. Randall Williams, dignitaries, Bahulu, Dizala, Lina, Zala, Dumelang.
Well,
Good morning.
hello.
Today is the most wonderful day. The day the city of Tshwane is launching the Climate Action Plan. You rock my world. It's a great honor and privilege for me as the little mother at International to be part. No more throwing papers in the street, no more burning rubbish, no more dirty air. Recycling is the way.
We truly have some amazing projects in our district, and we hope that you are able to connect with our speakers in the chat box and take down all the contact details provided. Rotary District 9400 thanks you for joining us, and we now hand over to Bolivia, who will continue to show you the global reach and impact of Rotary. Thank you.